What's up, guys? So I've been doing a lot of online stuff lately, but it's been a while since I did a wildly ridiculous TDBarrett type challenge that you guys know and love me for. So what's up, guys? If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Let's aim for 1,000 likes if you guys want 3 more videos today. I'm thinking about making 4. So let's see if we can hit it this video today. It's weird, okay? Let me just say it right now. It's weird. But you gotta bear with me because something extraordinary may happen if it goes the way that I'm hoping. So no one has ever done a stamina video. So I went and I created a guy by the name of Stuart Stamina. This guy is known for also having 40 overall everything, but if we scroll over to his intangibles and stuff, we see that he has a stamina level of 25 overall. Now let me just show you guys that is very, very low. If I look at like the whole league in general, if we were to go to all teams, which I'm going to scroll back to right about now, you will see the lowest of any player in the league that anyone has, other than Stuart has the lowest obviously, is, I believe, by one of the bigger guys, and it is by, these guys are both my created characters, it is by John Thompson. So Thompson has a 55 overall stamina, so we're making his stamina way lower. And my goal is to see if I do a 12-minute quarter, have him on the court the whole time sprinting every single chance that I get. Will he pass out? What will happen? Will he die of dehydration? No idea, okay? This is not something that is probably going to happen. It's pretty far-fetched, but you guys stay for the whole video because there might be something crazy and you might be like, dang, TDBarrett, you are the greatest. You always know what to do with your challenges. Let's go ahead and jump into this one. How I'm going to be doing it, I just got to save this roster real quick and then I'll show you guys the settings once we get in because I'm going to have to turn up all the stamina settings, etc. just to make sure that he is as exhausted as humanly possible. Go to settings and we're going to make sure fatigue is 100% on. We have CPU, free throw, camera shake, shot meter on. Rhythm, all of this stuff, audio, player chat, everything, pick and roll overlay, all of this stuff. There's a few things that I really want to limit that I'm going to go to now that we're going to limit just to make this as good as possible. What I'm trying to say, and you guys will kind of understand what I mean when we get there. Game style. So we are going to go to, I believe there is a fatigue rate. I have that all the way juiced up already. But the tendencies, it's the fouls, okay? So all the fouls, we're going to turn down to nothing. I don't want there to be any interruptions in this game. In general, I just want it to be straight basketball so that we can play this full thing. Oh my gosh, what did I just click a button? I don't know if I just clicked a button. I honestly have no idea what I just did. I probably just lost all the settings from before. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be moving all these down as we go through the 12-minute quarters. I'm just gonna be doing a lot of talking, to be honest. I'm probably gonna cut a lot out depending, but I'm hoping that at some point he's just gonna fall over or he's gonna have to be taken out because there's a chance, because there's no reason that he should be taken out. That's another thing we're going to see. There's no reason that he should have to leave the game because he is on the depth chart to play every single minute. But it depends. If he gets super tired, will they take him out despite him supposed to be in there the whole time? I have no idea. We'll see some interesting stuff in this video. But as you guys can see, I'm turning fouls all the way down just in an effort to make sure that things happen. And why do I keep doing that? Oh my gosh, did I just mess this up again? Now, just at the beginning, because the beginning is not going to be anything crazy, I'm going to tell you guys my favorite stamina story. So let me just show you guys what I'm going to be doing. Stuart is just going to be, when I have the ball, I'm going to be running back and forth with Stuart, trying to get him tired. I'm going to do whatever I can to make him as tired as possible, just so he's completely gassed by the end. He's going to hold the ball the whole time. I'm going to let him go and try and get to the rim, see what he can do in there. And he actually made a shot as a 40 overall. This is my stamina story. So, myself, this is something kind of sums me up. So, I remember track and field. I have to be sprinting here the whole time on defense as well, just around the court. I remember back in the day, we used to go to the track and field pitch. It wasn't actually in track and field. I did track and field. But as a gym class, we used to always go to the track and field, the pitch, and we'd go over to the other school that had a legit track and field thing, and we would just run 100-yard dashes. And I loved doing it. It was I was in my glory. I was one of the fastest people. So I kept winning races, and we kept doing more races and more races and more races, and it just got kind of out of hand. And then eventually a lot of kids were just stopping, and I was I'm just gonna keep going. I don't want to stop. So I just kept running. Constantly, throughout the whole thing, I just kept running, kept racing people who asked to race me, and I did probably 6 or 7 of these. Now, I was in pretty good shape, obviously. I was an athlete. I knew what I was doing. It wasn't something I wasn't really tired, but I remembered back. So this is kind of the feeling that I got, and it was probably one of the scariest moments in my life. I ended up in the hospital, which you guys will hear in a second. So I started getting very, very dehydrated. It started to feel as though I didn't really know where I was. I remember my friends kind of looking at me and wondering like what is going on with me, because I started looking very, very pale. They said I looked like a complete and total ghost at that point. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking very, very pale, and I finish the thing, and everyone goes and gets back on the school bus to leave, and I'm still just chilling out, just waiting, and I'm by the garbage can because I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and no one's really paying much attention. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to these kids, but they didn't really seem to notice that I was in a ridiculous amount of discomfort. So I get on the bus. That bus ride, I remember it was like probably 10 minutes. It felt like 16 years. Here's Stuart's stamina, in case you guys haven't seen. I've been trying to drain his stamina the whole time. I've been holding R2 on him, and I will continue for this whole first thing. There is no way he is not dead tired right now. So on that bus ride, it was by far the longest bus ride of my life. I felt at certain points like I would never be able to like move again. It was one of the craziest things, because I was just sitting there. So we get back to the school, and I think it was the end of the day for me, because I didn't have any more classes. I had a spare at this age, so I didn't have any more classes, because like in high school, I don't know if they have that in the US. In Canada, you can get a spare where you can actually have classes off where you don't even have to go. It's just kind of like a separate type of thing. So I had a spare that I had at that time after, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go home. I told my teacher, they were like, you're really not looking well, Brett. So I told my teacher, I was like, you know what, I can drive home. I'm gonna be fine, like everything's okay. I'll figure it out. I feel really woozy. So I leave the office, and I just fold like a cheap tent. They hear me, and they hear me kind of fall over. They run to me, they rush to me, and I had pretty much, like, I remember my legs completely. I actually have 2 stamina stories I'm gonna tell during this, just because it's kind of a challenge type story type video, where in case nothing actually happens in the video, at least you guys get to hear a good story. So my legs completely collapsed. I never felt that way, and they like end up putting me on this table, and I remember not being able to really see. I knew where I was, but like I was so incredibly out of it, and I just had the weirdest feeling that I felt like it could potentially, if no one was taking care of me, I felt like I could pass out and potentially die. And I'm not even kidding when I said. So they go, they freak out. They obviously call an ambulance for me. So they go, they call the ambulance. The ambulance comes like probably 10 minutes later, I would say. And I remember going to stand up, and when I stood up, my legs completely crumbled. Like, they were trying to make it so I didn't have to stand up, but I kind of had the confidence, like, no, I'm good to stand. Like, I think I told them I was good to stand. And I tried to stand up, and my legs completely crumbled to the point where I couldn't even move. Like, whatsoever. It was one of the weirdest things. It felt like I had zero strength. So I get into the ambulance, no idea where I'm. All my joints at that point are aching like crazy. Like, I remember feeling my like weird muscles in my body that I had never felt before were just losing it. Like, they were just aching. And it's like that feeling, because I used to, before football season, in my second year, I used to get acupuncture all the time. It's that kind of achy feeling when you get acupuncture, when like you're completely, like you just have literally nothing left. And it's really, really weird. I don't really know how to explain it, but it feels like your muscles are almost like completely giving out on you. So that is what happened. As you can see, my stamina, I believe it's at half. So does that mean we have a chance to get it to full? I don't know. I've ran it out a bunch, so we'll see kind of what exactly that. Oh, that's new. Yo, did you guys see that? That all red bar. I have never seen that before. I literally have never seen an all. Oh, maybe I changed that. Maybe that's something that I changed in the game. Yeah, that's something I changed in the game. Never mind. That was really, really dumb. But I got in the ambulance, and I didn't know how serious it was. They told me that I was pretty much like very, very close to passing out completely. They had to pump 3 liters of water in through my veins. They actually opened up an IV and pumped water into me. So after I got water, so once I got to the hospital at the ambulance, there wasn't a lot more work to be done. I was pretty much, after getting that water, I was kind of fine. And it was weird because I felt like it would take more, but all it took was me getting a little bit of water, and I was completely fine again. Stuart's down. I don't really know what's going on right now. He's still cooking. He is still cooking around here, still running. I see. I should call a timeout at some point here, just to kind of test. So before my next story, I'm going to call a timeout, and I'm going to see if they take him out, because he's not supposed to ever leave the game. And do I not have timeouts? Okay. Wait, what? Did I turn off the timeout settings or what? Where is that on? Why on earth can I not call a timeout? I don't. What if I just run out of bounds? Okay, running out of bounds would do like the same thing as a timeout. Let's see if they decide to take me out now that I'm dead tired. Because I should realistically never. Okay, let's go. There we go. That's not the point of the video, though. That is not the point of the video. I'm going to bring him back in the game ASAP. But if you look at Stuart's stamina, his energy is still at 60. How? How is his energy still at 60? So I'm about to bring him back in the game, let him play this last 5 minutes. I did a couple things. So you can see somehow his stamina is still at like a decent number, which I don't even understand why. This is my next story that has to do with this, because I told you guys I was going to tell too how this one works. So I've had two situations like this. The other one was actually on a mountain. Now, let me explain to you guys where I'm from. I don't know if any of you guys are from Alberta, Canada. That is actually where I grew up. I don't live there now, but there is a lot of like beautiful, beautiful mountains. Everywhere you look, there's mountains. Are they going to take them out again? This is another shot. See if they're going to take them out the second time. Everywhere you look out west in Canada, there's beautiful mountains, hikes. There's places to go. Let's see. Are they going to take him out? I'm really, really curious. No, he's still chilling. He does have that constant thing, the cold thing by his name, but it is what it is. Okay, so there's really, really nice mountains. So I'm not like the biggest hiker in the world, I wouldn't say, but one day me and my friend, we decided we were gonna go on like a pretty big hike, like one that was, I would say pretty like advanced level, and I didn't really know enough to be at the advanced level. I don't think I thought I did. I thought I was pretty confident in a lot of things when it comes to like athletically and stuff. And I obviously am still here, so nothing crazy happened. But let me explain to you kind of what happened, because this is one of the craziest moments of my life. So I was running. Going, and the other person I was with was like, yo, let's go down this kind of rock cliff down to the bottom. Now, they were quite a bit smaller than me. At the time, I weighed about 210 pounds. So they kind of got on this cliff, and it was very, very steep. It was going down because on the way down, we actually took a wrong turn. There's a whole like video of this if you guys are curious on my channel. We actually took a wrong turn down the hill. Stuart's stamina, it looks like nothing's about to happen to him. Kind of bugs me that his energy is at that level. It really, really does. I feel like it should be lower. We took a wrong turn on the way down. Actually, someone warned us. They're like, yo, gotta make sure on the way down that you do these certain things, because if you don't, like really, really bad things are gonna happen. That's literally exactly the like not good things are gonna happen. You're gonna get lost. We kind of paid attention, but not really that much. So then it happened where we got to the point where we started going the wrong way, and we had taken a few wrong turns, and they're like, yo, let's just go down this part of the hill. Let's just run down over here, and it should be fine. It's a shortcut. It'll get us to this grassy kind of field that was right in the middle, because where we were on like a river, like on the bank, and there was a big field very, very high up in the mountains. Absolutely no phone service whatsoever. There was no way that you could get a hold of anybody, even if you wanted to. Let's see, though. Is Stuart taken out? He hasn't passed out yet, sadly. And I don't know if he was, because I'm trying to get him to zero, and it looks like his thing is down, though. Like, if you look, it's lower than it was, but it's not going to complete and total zero somehow. Don't ask me how, but it's not moving past that point. Like, I don't know why it's not at complete zero yet. I'm going to try something here, just to kind of, like, spice up the challenge. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to sliders. This is CPU. We're obviously user. I'm going to go to stamina, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to move the fatigue rate to 0, just to see if that makes it so that he fatigues faster, because I really don't know the difference between the two. I'm guessing the one that I had was the correct one, and yeah, it definitely was the correct one. Let me switch it back. So right here, he just got pulled for the second time. In a situation where he should be getting all the minutes, like I said, he just got pulled for the second time. His stamina is now at a 42. We actually may, if I do this video long enough, which I might do more than a quarter just for the culture, but I won't be talking all the time. I do want to finish the story, though. Well, I finished this course. So what happened was, they're going to let him back in the game. It got to the point where going down this hill, and things were just like sketchy. So they went down, they were completely fine. I go down, and I remember it was a huge, huge drop off. And it was like, kind of, you know what people say when you're like about to like die, that you like, it's one of the, when you go through an experience like that, you kind of, life just kind of slows down. For me, I had that moment. So I was sitting on the rock, and all of a sudden, the rock below me that was holding me from probably a 60-foot drop came undone. Okay, so it completely went out to the point where I had little to no like grip. So at that point, my feet were dangling on this rock, and all that I was holding myself up with was my hands. Now, I think back to that year that I went through where football training and everything else, because up to that point, I never worried about like being stronger, stuff like that. I never worried about pull-ups because for a long time, like even when I was like a high school like quarterback in like grade 10, I wasn't great at pull-ups. When you get to university, obviously they make you train them a lot. So I remember one of my main things that I worked on for that year was getting really, really good at pull-ups, getting strong enough where I could do like lots, like 20, 30 pull-ups at a time, because I just thought it was kind of a worthwhile thing. So at that point, as I'm dangling on the rocks, my feet are completely loose. I have to pull myself up, and I somehow do. Okay, I don't remember. It was all happened so fast. I remember my heart was beating through my chest. So I get back up. The person I was with goes down the rock thing. So they head down, and they're obviously safe, and they have no idea where. So somehow, for some reason, with no phones, no nothing, I decide, and I had a complete and total panic attack, is what it was. My brain completely turned off. Like I faintly remember everything. None of it is clear. What happened? It just literally everything just kind of went crazy, and I remember just running up that hill and running around until I almost lost it. So I ended up running for like a little bit, and then I got to the top and I was like, yo, the person I was with is still out there. I don't even know if they got down the hill. I better go check. And then I couldn't find them. We couldn't get a hold of each other. So I ran all around the whole thing. I was like sprinting. It was the weird, you know how they say that adrenaline rush? It was a super hot day. I had no water left because I had used all my water before. I was relying on the other person for water, which you should never do. And I had no water left. And I was just chilling, running around. I remember I ran all the way down the hill, all the way back, and it was like a 20-minute hike, and I sprinted it because I just needed to find the other person because I was so worried that something had happened. Maybe they didn't get down the rock thing. So I ended up getting to this point, and I was sprinting everywhere. I felt like I was in the greatest shape ever. And then all of a sudden, running back to the hill, and I'm like probably like 100 meters from where the trail begins, my right leg completely stops working. Like completely stops. To the point where I have zero feeling in it whatsoever. I can't even move it a little bit. It's so tense that everything is just so incredibly messed up. So I go, and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I literally thought I was getting a headache. I had no feeling, and all I could think about was the first story that I told you guys, where all this stuff happened, and it was a super empty on the trail. There was nobody around. I was completely isolated with no cell phone, no nothing, no way to contact anybody, and my leg completely goes. So I crawl my way to the trail marker. Like, I don't even know how I did it. Okay, Stamina's back on the bench, and then I'll finish the story after. Let's see, what has he got for energy now? Energy for Stewart's 10. Yo, he's almost out. He is almost out. Okay, get that guy back in the game. Get that dude back in the game. He's only got 10 energy left. I gotta call a timeout. Can I call a timeout? No. Go foul. Intentional foul. Intentional foul, please. We only have so much time because I'm worried his energy is going to reset. Okay, now get it. Run out of bounds. So I get to the point. I crawl to like the beginning of the trail. Right at the beginning. Just to see kind of what's gonna happen. Just hoping that maybe someone was getting late too. Like, and people usually are like by the end of the night, they're not doing as much as before. So like 10 minutes go by, I lose feeling in my left leg. I start to get that tingly feeling once again where everything just feels completely and totally messed up. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, as I'm feeling like at this worst moment ever, these two ladies come by, and they're like the two old, I don't even know where they came from, because they were doing a different type of trail where they came from the other side. They didn't even come down the regular trail. And they're like the two most perfect people to run into because they had everything. So I was like, I almost didn't. And then I asked them for water. I was weak. I needed it. They gave me water. They had even these little energy, like these Gatorade energy things that they gave me, which was absolutely amazing. Here, Store's energy went up to a 19. I'll do a little bit of this quarter. He's got to get back in the game though. They had these little energy packets. They give it to me, and then eventually my partner comes, and they come down the hill. Someone had gotten them out because they were so incredibly lost. It was just a mess. So that's my other story with Stamina. I'm going to try and get him down to 0. I'm done talking for a little bit, but I'll see you guys in a second, just in case I do manage to get him down to 0 in the second quarter. Okay, so running this last little bit, and then I'm going to check just to see exactly if we did hit 0. If we did hit 0, I'm sorry guys, all that happens when you hit 0 energy with 0 stamina is that they just take you out of the game on a timeout usually. So let's see, actually, I'm going to check right now, because I believe you can even check it. 0 energy complete. So he is completely messed up. All he's done is run around for this entire game. I'm just gonna try a few more things to see if anything happens to him in this last little bit now that he's on 0 energy, but chances are nothing's gonna happen, which is kind of sad. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my stories. Let's see though. I'm just gonna run on the next timeout. We'll see if they automatically take me out. So now that I have 0 stamina, if I run out of bounds, even though I'm supposed to play every single minute of the game, like I said, let's see if they take me out of the game. I don't know if they will, and yes, they automatically take you out of the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. A little bit of a weird video, but I hope you guys got some enjoyment out of it, and I'll see you guys next time.